When it comes to, I don't care what you've done to your body, when it comes to this person over here and the young person over there, that man is going to choose, and he always have the option to choose no matter what age he is. But once you start getting to a certain age, you're going to want, wish that you already had that companionship, someone that's going to share you for who you are. You're not going to want to be competing with the 25-year-old. Accepting the fact that they can't get married, because who wants to marry the or the bust down?
Bust downs and may not want to be married. She may enjoy multiple sex partners and
I
being
just
bust down on a regular basis.
I disagree.
I'm saying that type of person is not a woman. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, they might not be
A
woman,
bust
but at
down
the
and
end of
not a woman.
at the end of the day, they still wanted to be married. I disagree. I just think they wanted to be a married.
All right, straight to the thumbnail again. We want to spend about 15 minutes on this subject, which is all women want to be married. Now, I want to go ahead and start with the toughest issue off the top, and it's a question for you, Jen. What about women who love the thrill of multiple partners and value their freedom? Doesn't that fly in the face of everyone woman wants to be married? And they're chasing experiences, independence, and sexual autonomy. What's wrong with that? Does that go against all women want to be married?
I mean, from a perspective, but at the end of the day, once the woman actually get to a certain age, how much freedom is she really gonna have? How many multiple partners are still gonna want to sleep with her at 60 years old? You telling me eventually that a woman gonna? I don't know any hoes or loose women at from ages the 60, 70, and 80 years old. I think a lot of the women I have ran into have a lot of regrets. They have that shoulda, coulda, woulda type of mentality, and I'm sorry, I still feel like all women do want to be married or have some type of companionship. Not even if they're going through a stage, because I think women do go through those type of stages where they want the freedom and multiple men, and especially in this new day, but that burns out eventually.
I agree. Let's give some info. Studies find a significant minority prefer short-term relationships or open partnerships in their 20s. But here's the kicker. Even amongst those, a large share eventually seeks a committed bond for deeper emotional intimacy and long-term security. Now, let's just go straight to our 6 reasons that all women want to be married. Let's start with deep companionship, because we just spoke on, you know what I'm saying, older women getting older, not having the ability to be bust down by maybe some of the same guys, the same things they used to be able to catch. But women are so awesome that even in their 60s, if she kept herself up, she can still get bust down by good-looking guys if she want to, younger guys, whatever. But deep companionship is going to be become a thing one day to that woman, and that's one of the top reasons that we feel like all women do want to be married. What about companionship? Is having someone to share life with really that universal? Because women aren't a monolith. We don't want to put women in a box. But is companionship a thing this that big?
Yes, it is, because women crave emotional intimacy. That's why, I mean, whether they don't get it from the same sex or the opposite sex, they want that emotional intimacy. They want companionship, whether they believe in legal marriage or just being with someone. Women crave that.
But what if I'm a lady and I'm bad? Like let's say I'm kind of like you, and I'm aging really well, and I'm still looking good, deep into my 50s, 60s, top of my 60s, and a young guy or you know a fly guy, he'll give me some emotional attachment, and he'll give me some emotional intimacy. I mean, I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here. I got to. What about that? I'm aging good.
Yeah, now you're settling. And the reason I say that they're settling is because, yes, you could be aging good. Yes.
And she likes younger guys.
And maybe she do, but I mean, do the younger guy want to really commit to you?
Nah, he just want to bust you
Exactly.
down.
A
No,
lot of
just
times,
yeah,
I don't know
just
many
want to bust you
success
down.
stories where a younger guy married a woman. I don't know many. A woman that's way older than them. So yeah, you're settling because you, like I said, you want that emotional intimacy. You want some type of companionship, but deep down, you really probably wish that you really could have been with whoever wanted you at your prime. You see what I'm saying? But now, since you still look good and you're aging decent, you're gonna settle for whoever will give you that emotional connection that you're craving for because now you've waited too long and can't have it.
Loneliness is called a epidemic right now, and marriage could cut that. But all right, let's move forward to another big reason, probably number one amongst the majority of women. You know what I'm saying? I do understand women are not a monolith, and there are the 1%ers of women who are financially stable and Gucci, all that. I get that, but security and partnership. Jen, do you think every woman wants marriage because of the security it brings?
No, I don't think it's just for the security. I just think we're emotional creatures. Women are. We move emotionally. I don't care if you're going through the stage or you want to build your career. Because most women who focus on their career and they build their career, they still want somebody to share it with. I think we want that companionship. We want that covering because it's in our nature.
Yeah, I got a study show married couples report higher perceived stability in handling money and major events. Moving forward, number three, building family and legacy. Let's talk about legacy. How big a role does wanting children or a family name play in women's lives? Do women do as a young girl? Do all the young girls dream of having a legacy? Like I got married, and you know what I'm saying. Do they? Is that a fantasy? Did you think most young ladies have?
I think every woman, and again, I'm big on, I think every woman wants to be married. I think when we're young, we want to be queens and princesses and we want to dress up and that's why when you get married on your wedding day, the dress means so much because you want to look like that queen and princess that you envisioned as a child, that you told with the fairy tale. We want the fairy tale. I think it does play a role for different reasons, but most of it is going to be, especially the career driven women. I think they're going to want something, some type of legacy to leave behind. I think they're going to want, once you wasted time, and I ain't going to say waste time, but once you give all that time and energy and pass by John, Mark, and whoever, Sue, if that's the case, you pass by all these people and you got to where you wanted, some point you wanted to be able to pass on, or what would be the reason you did it for?
For most women, I think marriage is a launch pad for starting their own family branch off of the family tree. I think that women do envision their last name changing. I think that's a thing. I could be wrong. I'm a man. I don't know, much about being a woman at all. I'm a man, but that's what I think. Birth rates aside, surveys find that most women still view marriage as the ideal context for raising kids. I get that it's a lot of single mothers. I get that. I mean, you were a single mother. I get that, but I think you know
But that wasn't the
that
ideal.
what that could not have been the idea.
I don't think a lot of single parents were the ideal. Oh, I just want to have a child and raise it by myself. No, I think
Nah,
they wanted that family. They wanted to be with someone, and that's why you have a lot of women now that are bitter because their heart was broken. They're going to the opposite sex because of all the emotional turmoil or the trauma that came with it. I think, yeah, I think women just, they have their different reasons, but at the end goal was to have companionship and to be married.
what about cultural? I mean, moving forward, our next reason, and I think it's cultural and social expectations. How big do you think culture and tradition drives women wanting to be married?
I think it plays a lot in the young girl mind to think, oh, I don't have to be married. I can play these games. I can live the best life. You can do all this different stuff. They got so many outlets that they're promoting. You got the OnlyFans if you want to just be a slut, you know what I'm saying, and sell yourself that way. If you want to go to the career, like it's so many. I think the music and the culture plays a part in that. But at the end of the day, as time go on, as the beauty phase, after all that stuff is done, and you get your career, you're wanting someone to share that with. You want that emotional connection. You want that's why you're selling for the young guy. That's why you're over here doing whatever it takes to get some type of attention. You want that. And so you shouldn't allow the culture and the music and all this young girl stuff and this rap stuff that they putting out there and saying this is the best way to do it, because it's going to die out. When it comes to, I don't care what you've done to your body, when it comes to this person over here and the young person over there, that man is going to choose, and he always have the option to choose no matter what age he is. But once you start getting to a certain age, you're going to want wish that you already had that companionship, someone that's going to share with you for who you are. You're not going to want to be competing with the 25-year-old.
I agree. Let's go ahead and narrow it down to what the points that I'm truly trying to make, and I think that you're trying to make as well. There's a difference between a bust down and a woman. Now, whores will always be with us, just like the poor. They'll always be there. I'm trying to. What I'm trying to differentiate is a woman. That's what you're saying. All women want to be married. A whore or a bust down is not a woman. Would you agree with that, or am I wrong? Is it a nicer way to state what I'm trying to say?
They're not
Come
what
on
you would
now.
consider a woman, but even the whores and bust downs want companionship. After they tired of being whores, they settling for that lifestyle because they know
Companionship
about,
is not marriage.
well, they wanted something. They just accepting the fact that they can't get married, because who wants to marry the whore or the bust down?
Bust downs and whores may not want to be married. She may enjoy multiple sex partners and
I
being
just
bust down on a regular basis.
I disagree.
It's a thrill that comes with, I'm meeting Mark tonight, and you know what I'm saying? Or I'm meeting Sally tonight, you know, the bust down male. You know, he really get off to having multiple sex partners. She gets off to having multiple sex partners.
I think that the difference between the whore or the buzz down and a woman is their mindset, the mentality. The difference with the woman, she set away a lot of those sides. She has discipline, this and that. When you have the woman who wants to be with the different mans and this and that, that's her mindset. But eventually that mindset is going to fade away. It has no choice but to fade away, because you're not going to have multiple partners at 60, 70, and 80 years old.
The only pushback
You
I'll
don't even have
give,
that option.
I agree. The only pushback I'm going to give you is when I was young and I first learned what a bust down was, and then they showed me that she was a bust down, and then now I'm 40, and then the same ladies are bust downs. They're getting in their 60s, getting ready to enter their mid 60s or late 50s, and they still bust downs. They didn't get married.
Because the mindset didn't change. The mentality didn't change.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
That type of person is not a woman. That's all I'm saying.
okay, they might not be
A
woman,
bust
but at
down
the
and
end
a
of the
whore is
day,
not a
at
woman.
the end of the day, they still wanted to be married. I disagree. I just think they wanted
It
to be
has
a married. They
breasts and
just
private parts.
they're
It's
just
not a
settling
woman.
for. You have bust downs that's 30 some years old and that's 40 some. They want to be married, but they know they don't nobody want them, so they're going to just choose to have this lifestyle. And they claim that, oh, I'm just want to have this person, or I'm cool with just being a side piece, of whatever the case may be. I just don't believe them. I don't think that's what you really wanted to grow up and be. I think you really want a husband, a companion, someone who's going to love you for you, who accepts all of you. But since you didn't, your mind or whatever the case led you on this path, you're accepting what this path is. And now, again, if you have a shifting of the mindset, I do think women can get married after certain mistakes and after certain stuff, but it has to take a shifting. And in most women, I just believe no matter what stage or what mentality they is, they want to be married. And they're in denial if they're saying they don't.
I really enjoyed going down the bust down rabbit hole. That was a lot of fun. So to finish up, number 4, culture and social expectations. From church pews to our Instagram feeds, we're constantly reminded that marriage is the next big step. And so I do think that cultural and social expectations play a big role, especially young ladies who've grown to women from a 2-parent household. You know what I'm saying? I know the percentage is low now, but it's not really low amongst all Americans. You see what I'm saying? Americans are still being raised by mothers and fathers, and they're seeing that, and I think that is social pressure on them. Now, moving forward to number 5, personal growth and teamwork. How about self-improvement? Can marriage actually help you with growing?
How can personal?
How about personal growth? Can marriage help you with your growth?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
And being a teammate, like I mean, teamwork makes the dream work. That's one reason for me, which is a personal growth. I'll admit, I've grown a lot personally within my marriage. I admit that. I think that's a thing. But we're talking about women though, and so it's a lot of independent women who grow on their own. They don't feel like they need a spouse or a man to grow.
But you can grow on your own. Like I was already in the process of
Correct.
growing before I met you, but when I got with you, it helped. It helps make that process more progressive. You know what I'm saying? It speeds it up. It can help you more with the growing. That's all. You can do it by yourself, but it's always better with two.
Marriage ranks amongst the top catalysts to help with finances, exercise, diet, things of that nature. I mean, marriage is a healthy thing, and I think all women do want to be married as well. And I think that's one of the big reasons. Now, last reason, number 6, but definitely not the least, spiritual covenant. Do you feel a spiritual pull toward marriage? Do you think that women are spiritually pulled towards marriage? Or does it just set good with you just busting down and just hopping from pillar to post, which would be Rick, Mark, you know all the names we like to use. What's Jody? Oh man, Jody. We know that the ladies like Jody. And, okay, so do you feel spiritually whole hopping from Mark to
No,
Jody?
because you weren't created to hop from Mark to Jody. I don't care what you believe
But
in.
Jody him.
But it don't matter. You weren't created, so you're not gonna feel whole. You're gonna feel a part of you is still gonna always feel empty because we were created to be supportive, nurturers, and we were created to be emotional creatures that are naturally going to give, and we want that covering. We want to be protective. That's in our nature, no matter what you believe in. So, yeah, you're not going to feel whole, and no matter spiritually, especially if you're a Christian, you want that.
All right. I also got on the spiritual covenant situation. Number 6, marriage symbolizes divine unity. Another reason it remains a universal aspiration. I think women across the globe, you see,
I agree.
aspire spiritually to be married, to have unity with one. You say and oneness within a marriage. I think that's a big thing. It's not just a contract with your wife. It's also a covenant with the Lord as well. In most religions,
It's true.
Do you have any closing as far as all women wanting to be married?
Nope, I just stand on that. That's what I believe, and I don't think, and I think if you are one of these women that's on a path where I don't want that, I don't never want to be married, I just think that eventually changes as you get older.
All right, that's 6 solid reasons why at the end of the day every woman wants to be married. If you agree or disagree, drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also watch this video right here, guys, and that's major.
That's major.